Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, or should I say good afternoon. It's a rainy day here in Gilbert, Arizona, so get your umbrellas if you're in this part of the country. The Associated Press put out a story about cops being ambushed, and I'm just going to say don't do that if you're someone who has heartburn with the cops. I don't fucking like the cops. I know what type of bastards they are and how crooked they are. So, yeah, but I'm never going to go out and start shooting up cops and ambushing cops. That's just wrong. Don't do that. Find a hobby. Do something else that's not destructive. But anyway, according to the Associated Press, the shooting deaths of 2 Connecticut officers and the wounding of a third punctuated an especially violent week for police across the United States and fit into a grim pattern. Even as more officers left their jobs in the past 2 years, the number targeted and killed rose. So people are killing more cops. According to organizations that track violence against police, 56 officers have been killed by gunfire this year, 14% more than this time last year, and about 45% ahead of 2020's pace. The country's on track for the deadliest years since 67 officers were killed in 2016. Yeah, no surprise. While the figures include a few officers killed by accidental gunfire, probably friendly fire, and don't forget the cops that get beat to death by their fellow officers, but that's another story. The number of ambushes in which police were killed or injured and surprise attacks with little chance to defend themselves, another story coming for that, has soared since 2020 and accounts for nearly half of the officers killed this year. Such an attack apparently struck Wednesday in Bristol, Connecticut, where the state police said Bristol Police Sergeant Dustin DeMonte and Officer Alex Hamsey were killed, and Officer Alec Irato was wounded when they responded to a 911 call that appears to have been a deliberate act to lure law enforcement officers to a scene so that they could ambush them. And yes, that's what you do. That is a military tactic. That is an old school tactic where you pull someone in and you ambush them and kill them. That's kind of sort of what's happening. But furthermore with this is the fact that cops don't seem to get the message. You know, they feel as if they're emboldened to do what it is that they do. And being emboldened to do what you want to do because you consider yourself a god amongst humans, because you have a badge and a gun, bad things happen to you when you abuse people. It's like being in an abusive relationship. At some point, the person who's getting smacked around is going to get sick and tired of it, and they're going to fight back. So the Fraternal Order of Police reported that through September 30th of this year, there had been 63 ambush-style attacks in which officers were wounded, with 93 officers shot, 24 of them fatally. That's a number that's lower of such attacks. That's a lower number of such attacks than the first 9 months of 2021, where there were 75 ambushes of officers, 93 shot, and 21 killed. The total number of ambushes in which police were hurt last year more than doubled from 2020. Not shocked. The increase in ambushes and killings of police comes at a time when many departments around the country face staffing shortages, understandably, with some agencies down hundreds of officers and struggling to fill vacancies. I wouldn't want a job where I had to join a gang, brutalize people for asserting their constitutional rights. So yeah, I wouldn't want that job either. I would fucking quit too. However, COVID-19 has been the biggest killer of cops in the past few years, with 270 deaths in 2020 because tough guys don't need masks, tough guys don't need injection vaccinations, they don't work. 467 in 2021 and 64 so far this year. So yeah, fucking dumbasses. You know, get a fucking shot, get vaccinated and wear a fucking mask so you don't get sick and die. But hey, be stupid. The Officer Down Memorial page reports But many of officers have retired early or resigned out of frustration with what they see as sagging public support amid defund the police efforts prompted by the murder of George Floyd. Now they say that like it's a bad thing, like defund the police is a bad thing, but they don't even fucking know what it's meant by defunding the police. They're so butthurt and so thin-skinned that when you say defund the police, they think that, they want, somebody wants to take their job with a paycheck. And basically what people are saying is, no, we need to allocate the funds that we're giving to the cops to brutalize us, to put it into social services and infrastructure so that we can fix our roads and streets and buildings and schools, mostly schools, and gives, our social services a chance to take care of things that cops don't. Because calling a cop or a gun to a situation when someone is having a mental health crisis, we've seen what happens there. Cops shoot first, ask questions later. They don't even ask questions, they just fucking start shooting. Anyway, efforts prompted by the murder of George Floyd by a Minneapolis police officer and the deaths of other black people at the hands of law enforcement. Let's put in quotations the deaths or murders of unarmed black people at the hands of law enforcement. So don't let them get a pass by saying, oh, well, they shot some people. No, they're fucking murdered unarmed people for no goddamn reason. To continue, many law enforcement supporters worry about whether departments will still have backing given the tenor of the national discourse around policing. They stress that questionable or illegal uses of force by officers are the rare exception and not the rule. Bullshit. Ask George Floyd whether or not it's rare. Ask Sandra Bland whether or not it's rare. Ask Philando Castillo whether or not it's rare. You can ask me whether or not it's rare. You can ask any black person walking around or on this continent whether or not cops and their brutality towards citizens is rare, because I can assure you that it's not rare. It's a daily fucking occurrence. Just to show you how they want to deflect from their own responsibility for treating citizens like shit. Instead of saying, hey, we fucked up, we apologize, we'll change our policies, we're going to get rid of qualified immunity, we're going to make sure that our officers are responsible to the citizens and do their jobs like they're supposed to, blah, 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 inserts whatever comments. No, they don't do that. It's not what they're doing. They want to deflect and try to push blame on somebody else or say that, oh, this is just rare. It's just a few bad apples. No, the fuck, it's not a few bad apples. It's all of them. It's their training. It's how they train them. They don't even know their own fucking laws that they're supposed to enforce. Ask any cop. Recite the First Amendment of the Constitution. Give me any of the clauses within the First Amendment of the Constitution. Just tell anything. Just recite anything in the Constitution. And they can't. 90-some% of 99% of them don't know what the fuck it even means. And don't care. And they'll tell you your rights don't mean shit to us. But anyway, the exception, not the rule, but police have lost trust from many people outraged at repeatedly seeing cell phone or body camera videos online of officers abusing their power. That is the norm. It's the rule. It's the policy. Police policy is to abuse the citizens to get what you want. I need that ID. It's like fucking crack to them. I need your name. I need your social. They do all these horrible things, and then they try to deflect and act like, oh, well, it's rare. It's not the police. It's not us. It's those bad guys. We have some bad officers, but those bad officers always end up being chiefs and lieutenants and spending 30 years on the force. If you know that they're bad officers and you know that it's an exception and not the rule, why not get rid of those cops? Pretty easy. I can answer that question. They won't do it because it is the rule. It's not rare. It's not an exception. It's the rule. It's their culture. It's their policy to brutalize citizens. It's what they do. So I do have sympathy for the fact that people have lost their lives. I don't have sympathy for officers who get caught for abusing their power and authority. I don't think that anyone should ever go around killing people. I understand why they're doing it, but it's not the right way to do things. We have a justice system for a reason. It's a shitty justice system that rarely fucking works for the little guy, but we still have to use it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please be safe out there. Don't fucking trust the cops. Always film the police. And by all means, don't forget to be the best heathens that you can be, and have a great day.